Most dropshippers are stuck in the endless cycle of testing product after product and editing your ads till 2 a.m. while also replying to pissed off customer emails for hours every single day. Meanwhile, there are absolute chads that are selling the exact same product as you, but only work a few hours a day while making over 6 figures in profit every single month. All because they just understand one thing that you don't: operational freedom. That is the key to scale your store so that you can work whenever you want, live wherever you like, and to buy $35,000 Ralph Lauren cowboy jackets like they're Tic Tacs at your local gas station. But the only way you can unlock this operational freedom is you need to acquire an army of third world warriors. This is an army that is going to fight your battles and scale your store so that it doesn't completely crumble as soon as you stop working on it. But I know what you're thinking. Ethan, I can't afford a team right now. Oh, I'm not there yet. Oh, I can do it all myself. And that small-minded mentality is what's going to keep you broke forever and is going to be the reason why you're going to run a glorified job instead of a real business. I'm going to teach you how to acquire your army, how to hire them, how to train them, and allow yourself to have a brand that scales to 5 and 6 figures profit every single month, and have a real brand that you can exit for hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, if you implement exactly what I'm about to teach you over the next 400,000 milliseconds. Think of your business like a boat, and there's really 2 types of work when you have a boat. One, you can maintain your boat, which is honestly most of your work, and that's why the happiest day is when you sell your boat, if we're really being honest. Wouldn't know, I don't have my boat yet. I'll let you know in the future. But there's work that maintains your boat and makes sure it actually starts. And then there's a work that grows and scales and makes your boat go faster. That is the work that you want to focus on if you want to make as much money as possible and actually value your time at what it's truly worth. Because right now, if you want to make $1,000 a day and you're worth 8 hours a day, then that means you need to value your time at $125 per hour. But if all you're doing is focusing on these tasks right here, the maintenance work that only really provides maybe $10 to $20 an hour worth of value, then you're going to stay broke and you're going to stay stuck in the same place. Now, first, let's evaluate. What are those tasks? Order fulfillment. Have a supplier that's connected to your store that automatically fulfills your order. Boom, we're done there. Customer support. Answering all these emails, yes, is important. You don't want to deal with a lot of refunds or chargebacks because then, yes, you can't actually scale because you'll deal with processing holds. So, yes, we want to prioritize that and have a system. Use a platform like Zendesk or Georges. There's so many different platforms where you can conglomerate all of your emails and all of your actual inquiries on social media into one inbox. So that way you have someone that can respond to that 24/7. But that isn't work that you should be doing. Now, the next thing, website design. I know this is a polarizing take because a lot of you guys like to be all flowery and I'm going to try a new color scheme or make my add to cart button 50% bigger or add some new trust badges. Guys, the design work, making your website look more branded, is not a high value task. That is not a real needle mover. And we'll get onto the website side what you should be focusing on that actually is a needle mover. But the whole website design of, I just don't think people trust my brand because the design isn't there, it's total bullshit. It's cope. It is an excuse. And the final thing, product research. Yes, it has value, but it's such a repetitive, monotonous task that it is perfect for VAs. It is perfect for your army of third world warriors to be doing this because honestly, in a lot of cases, there's specialists out there that can find products and be more efficient with their time than if you were to spend the same amount of time researching products yourself. So that is why it's something for me personally that I will always outsource because the product isn't the thing that makes you successful at the end of the day. If a product matches certain criteria where it has the right margins, it has the sales validation, it has low returns, and it has lots of content, that's all you really need at the end of the day. And then it all comes to your marketing skills. So what the actual CEOs that are scaling dropshipping brands over 6 and 7 figures a month are focusing on are these 4 key pillars: copywriting, messaging, split testing that to multiple avatars to find out what is the most profitable segment of people that buy our product at the highest rate, that spend the most money, and what's the message in the ads, aka the copywriting, that attracts that high quality audience. So the copywriting in terms of your descriptions, in terms of your pre-landers, in terms of your ad scripts, that makes a huge difference in scaling your brand because when you get a new winning ad or a new winning copy, that allows you to scale from $1,000 a day to $5,000 a day and unlock that next level of scale. Now, the next thing, offer testing, same thing. When you split test and find the right offer, that could be the difference between making $1 every time someone goes on your website to $3 just by split testing $5 in your price, or a new offer structure from buy one, get one free to a volume discount, or a value stack where you have your product plus multiple free gifts that complement and accelerate the results that your target customer wants. in terms of their desires from your product. AK could be losing weight. So I could buy a hula hoop for that. Then I could get a slimming tee. I can get some resistance bands, etc. You just have this essential kit or bundle. So offer testing, huge thing you need to be doing with A/B Convert. I have a whole video that explains how to do that. Of course, creatives as well. So on the creative side, planning out your messaging, your frameworks, your angles, your UGC creators, your ad editors, actually focusing your time on making new creatives that are fresh every single week, which is typically trying out new frameworks, because once you have the right message that's resonating with your audience, let's say we're marketing to women and they have skincare issues and we found out that dry skin is that angle that's working, cool. Try more frameworks, try a problem solution with that message, try how to, try 3 reasons why, try new frameworks with the message that's already working, and that will allow you to discover new ads and new levels of scale. And then the final thing, media buying. I don't like to focus too much time on this. This is something that really should be about 15 to 30 minutes of your day. You check your ad account at the start of the day, middle of the day, end of the day. That's really all you need to do. Make sure that your ad creators are spending to a certain amount and that you kill them if they don't hit certain milestones, aka getting add to carts at a certain level of spend or getting purchases at a certain level of spend. Now, if you want a full media buying video, let me know down below in the comments, leave a like, and I will get it to that. But those are the 4 key tasks that help you grow your business. Now, before we get into the 4 steps of hiring and training your team of third world warriors to run your brand, if you are enjoying this video, then definitely consider subscribing, because I only drop bangers every single week of the latest strategies and sauce that I'm implementing over my portfolio of 7-figure brands that you can use to scale your dropshipping brand to over $1,000 a day and beyond. So now, let's get into the different stages of scaling your dropshipping store, because there's really 3 key stages, and then we'll get into what team you need. Now, at the first stage of just going from 0 to a few sales a day, so $250 a day, yes, you're going to be needing to do all the work. But we'll get into later on, of course, what roles you need to hire and exactly what job posts you need to do, how to trial them, and how to hire the best team for the most affordable cost, because that's the real magic of this video and the most value you're going to get. So stick with me here. But with $0 to $250 a day, you're going to have to be the one who's doing all the busy grunt work, the product research, the website, the ads, the media buying, customer support. You're doing all that, and the reason why, so you can develop the skills, because when you develop the skills, and if you do this strategically, where every time you're doing each one of these tasks, so product research, for instance, you document your thought process, you document what tools you're using, you document step-by-step what you're doing, that will allow you to templatize this, build an SOP, a standard operating procedure, that you can give to your future hires so they can do exactly the same process, know how you think, and know what products that you want, so that you can have someone doing that work for you and actually do it at a better job than you, so you can focus on the higher leverage tasks. As we talked about, that's a $20 an hour task. You need to be focusing on bigger tasks that make more money. Now, website side, same thing. Once you've built a template that you like, then that can be the template that you hire a website designer to build. Or if you have a website designer and you have example websites you really like that you know you can build on your own, a really good website designer should be able to duplicate almost any single product page that you would like if they really know their stuff. And we'll talk about where to hire them. Ads, same thing, media buying, all that. So to get to $250 a day, you need to be doing this work yourself, because you won't know how to hire people if you don't know what good work looks like. You can't hire a good website designer if you don't know what a good website looks like and how to build one yourself. So I always recommend, yes, learn the skills. And once you get to a certain point where you're making some sales, you're getting some traction, then you need to be thinking bigger picture. I need to be thinking bigger scale, because if I'm going to buy my $35,000 Ralph Lauren jacket and just travel to Sedona or anywhere I want, whenever I want, then you need a team in place. You can't be doing all the work yourself, especially if you want to be partying until 3 a.m. with the baddie Latinas. Now, at the next level, so in terms of hiring, how do we get our first employees on board, and what is the 4-step process? Process number 1. For any role, you need to have a job post. So for instance, for product researchers, I have a very simple job post that goes like this. If we can see right here, we have all the steps. And essentially in the job post, I just say, I'm a dropshipping business that's looking for a few virtual assistants. We want candidates that already are familiar with different tools, and we're looking to pay about this much money. And then of course you can specify other things like location. Usually you want to hire Filipinos, third world warriors for a reason, because not that expensive. But you want to specify the different traits you're looking for. And essentially, you just want someone who can work full time, who is hungry, and ideally already has experience finding dropshipping products, because there's so many of these little VA, third world warrior, just little orphans out there that want a home, and they're waiting for you. They need you. So you have your job post ready to go. Now, after your job post and you know what traits you have in mind, then you create your SOP document. So for instance, I have an SOP video that's 37 minutes long of me doing product research, using the different tools, telling them, here's the filters I like. Oh, here's a list of products that I researched. Here's the reasons why I chose them versus the products that I didn't like. So again, you can just transfer that thought process almost like a flash drive that you can plug into these guys' brains like it's a matrix. So create SOPs, create step-by-step procedures, or film a video of yourself doing the task so they know exactly what to do. Now, after you do that, then this is the big thing. Because for every role, people are going to have portfolios where they can lie about the work they've done. They can tell you all these great things. They can tell you, oh, I built this website, I made this ad. But you don't really know how good they are at something until you trial them. That is the ultimate test. Now, if you're hiring virtual assistants, a lot of times it's very customary to do free trials. So for instance, my basic free trial for product researchers, as you can see right here, if we scroll on down, is we have them for a few hours research a list of products. So give us a list of 5 to 15 products back. We will give them all the login access to our favorite tools, and then they will send back a list of products. So for instance, as you can see right here, this is for product researchers. I got this list from one of my researchers that was potentially applying to join my team. So I go through this, and here are my notes. I give this is a yes, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're wondering specifically for product researchers, I usually evaluate them based on the percentage of products that I think are good. So they bring me 10 products and 2 are good. That's a 20% hit rate. Typically, I aim for about that 20 to 30%. So obviously, you evaluate multiple people, trial 5, 10, 15. Obviously, the more you do, the more likely you are to find the right person. It's like going on dates. If you go on 5 dates, and you're hoping to find the one, and you're really having that scarcity mindset, if I have to pick one person of these 5s, the chances are, yeah, you might find someone you can tolerate and someone who is all right, but you're not going to find that dream girl, that wifey type that blows you away. So I always recommend do at least between 10 to 20 trials. I know it takes a little bit of work. It's a little tedious, but trust me, over the long haul, you are going to thank yourself. So for product researchers, whoever are the top 1 to 2 that had the highest amount of products I selected percentage-wise, that is the person I'm going to then onboard onto my team, and I use Hubstaff specifically. Now, Hubstaff is what product researchers, VAs use to track their screen. So it tells you as the manager how many hours did they actually work, so that every single week you can check their timesheet and see, oh, this product researcher worked 30 hours this week and their hourly rate is $5. So therefore I'm paying them $150 for this week. Now, if that's too much money for you, you can tell your researcher, hey, I'm going to cap your work at 15 hours a week. So then that way they know, okay, I have to hit a certain deadline or a certain number of products, because I tell them you need to find me at least 5 to 10 products every day. So if you give them 20 hours a week, they should be able to find 5 to 10 products. So you give them deadlines. You tell them, hey, I can only afford you to work 10, 15, 20, 30, whatever amount of hours you need in the work per week. They note it down in Hubstaff. You can track that and then pay them hourly. Super simple. That's all you need to know. Now, let's get into the next stage. As you can see right here, we just talked about this. This is the product research VA. So when you do build this team, I usually recommend having at least 1 to 2 product researchers. Then you are going to have lists like this given to you every single day from your team. And then you can just go through this, choose the ones you like, tell them which ones you don't like and why you don't like them. And then they can keep on refining their skills. This is how you get an ample flow, an assembly line of new products for you to test every single week. So you never have to deal with the problem of, oh, God, I just tested a product, but now I have no new products to work on. Now, the next key hire at the $250 to $2,500 a day stage is a product page builder. So obviously we talked about that. So what does that look like in terms of hiring? What does that look like in terms of pay? Because that's important as well. So for me, I usually hire all this talent either using Upwork or onlinejobs.ph. So for product page builders, this is usually on Upwork, where I will do an example trial where I'll tell them, hey, I am looking to hire a product page designer for about $40 to $75 per product page. I'll give them examples of websites I like, and then I usually give them, here's my main product, here is the description for that product, so that way they can use that description and build their own product page that they think would be the best converting. So whoever shows you the design skills, they have the right sections, they customize the product images, they have a good offer set up. That's the person that can actually think for themselves, that knows how to create their own sections, and that's the person you want to bring on board. And then you can give their template or your whatever template you're using, and that makes it a little bit easier over time. So super simple there. Always have someone on board, because then once you've approved, here's the product I like, then the website guy can start working on the website. Ideally, if they also know how to write copy, that's great. But for the most part, I'd say you're going to be focusing on the copy at this stage still. Now, the next role, third world warrior, you need someone that's doing the customer support for you. We already talked about this. Use Zendesk, onboard a VA, give them templates for how to respond to the most common customer issues, which is typically long shipping times, where's my order, what's your money back guarantee, blah, 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 blah. You're going to get the same emails over and over and over again, so you can templatize it, and then just have a VA that sends those emails and checks that inbox. And then you usually are going to evaluate this person based on how fast they get back to people. So you want the response time during business hours to be within 30 minutes to an hour. That's what the sign of a really good VA. How many client tickets are they solving within an hour? Now, final role outside of this, so you have this third world warrior, you're paying $5 an hour. You can find this person on onlinejobs.ph. Super simple. As you can see right here, I'll just show you the job post I do for this role. So I pay them between $300 to $800 a month. We want them to know how to do order fulfillment if you have some sort of order fulfillment that's manual. So if you're using Desers, for instance, or AutoDS, which if you're using AutoDS, you're getting absolutely raped, and I wouldn't recommend it. But this is what you would do right here in terms of that job post. So you can copy this, you can take a screenshot, et cetera, et cetera. Not too crazy. But then what are you focusing on at this level? Well, you freed up your time to now focus on some more high value tasks, which in this case is going to be making sure that you have new ads going out. So you're planning the ads, the frameworks, the copy. You're doing the offer split test on your website. So you're planning, here's the offers I want to test. You send that to your product page designer and they get it all set up. And ideally, if you just teach them how to use A/B convert, then they can set your split test up for you. So you don't have to do that. And again, focus your time on the most valuable task, which at the end of the day is the ads. And then finally, media buying. You should be the one managing that at this level. You shouldn't have to hire a media buyer. It's not really worth it because all you're doing is a few clicks. I mean, if you have a basic scaling strategy like I do, which in this video, I explain my whole Facebook strategy. It's very simple. I have one campaign for testing, one campaign for scaling, and then I have certain KPIs and certain things I look for when it terms of what ads I decide to scale up. Obviously, check out that video if you want. But at the final stage, so now you've gotten to the stage where we have a killer team. We have 3 absolute third world warriors that are willing to fight to the death to scale our brand. So we're now at $2,500 a day, and it's you and your 3 VAs versus the world. You have your customer support VA, so you know when you get more orders and more scale, you're good there. You know you have your product page designer, so if you want to make a listicle or a pre-sale page or keep making tweaks to your product page, you've got a guy for that. And then, of course, you have a product researcher, so you can keep testing new products every week. Now, before we get into those stage 3 hires, they'll help you scale your dropshipping brand from $2,500 to $25,000 every single day. If you do need any help with this process, because let's be honest, hiring can be very overwhelming and just tedious to spend weeks trialing people, training them. And if you hire the wrong person, you have to do it all over again. Then I would just click the first link in my description down below and apply to join my one-on-one program where we will actually just give you access to our team of vetted and trained product researchers, ad editors, and product page designers that can do all this work for you so you can focus on the higher leverage tasks inside your business. Plus, we give you templates for product pages, for ads that are all plug and play so you can make new ads in minutes. And you get 5 group coaching calls a week with yours truly. So I'll review your products, your ads, and your website to make sure it's all at the right quality level to make that product a winner. And that is why we guarantee you'll hit $1,000 a day, or we'll keep coaching for free until you do. So if you're interested in working with me, click that first link in the description down below. Now, at the final level of scale, to go from $2,500 to $25K a day, you need to be focusing on your growth team. Now, what do I mean by growth team? This is the team that's focusing and helping you with those high value tasks. Because yes, you shouldn't be the only one focusing on those high value tasks if you want to get the most output and be able to, again, travel, work whenever you want, and have a business that is still running on autopilot. So first hire here, copywriter. Have a good copywriter that you trial, where you show them examples of product descriptions you like, and then you give them an example product to work on. You may give them an actual template for here's how I like my product pages to be. So I start with a problem, then I aggravate, and then I get into here's my benefits, here's my transformation. So you might give them a structure for how you like your product pages to be done. I know I do. It's completely up to you. And inside my one-on-one program, I have templates for how to hire, how to train, do all that, because this is the higher level, higher skilled employees that really do take a little bit of due diligence to hire. So in my one-on-one program, we actually give you access to the exact creative director, ad editors, all et cetera, because these are harder roles to hire and it does take more time. So again, if you want to outsource it and just already have a team that's trained, then click that first link in the description. But copywriter, this is someone that's going to write your product descriptions for each new product. So usually I pay between $40 to $50 for that. Ad scripts, they should be the ones that are researching your audience. They're coming up with here's the avatar and here's potential new ideas for messages, for awareness levels we can hit, for hooks, for problems that we haven't tried already that we should be split testing this week. And then I will note down which one performed best. And then finally, writing the emails. Yes, when you are scaling your brand, you need emails. You do need an abandoned cart flow that is dialed in. Same thing with SMS. So have that set up. Be checking that at least once a week to make sure you're hitting your KPIs, which, yes, certain KPIs are typically hitting a 10% abandoned cart recovery rate. And then on your SMS, usually, again, same note, about 10% of those should be recovered and actually ordering from you if they did abandon the cart. Then finally, you want to have a creative director. I cannot stress how important it is to have this role. It's very difficult to find. Usually for me, all my creative directors have actually been recommendations and referrals from other people that found this because it's not easy. But if you have a good creative director, they're the one managing this team for you. They're essentially kind of the CEO at the end of the day, where they should be managing your copywriter, telling them, here's what we need. We need 20 new ads, so here's how many new frameworks we need. Here's the new hooks, etc., etc. They should also be checking that copy. So they should have an idea of how to do research, and they should be a solid marketer in themselves. So they know what good copy looks like. So when the copywriter is done with a description or an ad script, they second check that for you. They make sure it's good. They make sure that it's exactly talking to that specific avatar. And if you want a third check, that can be you checking the work of the copywriter and then the creative director. But that is an essential hire. I cannot stress how important it is, because the creative director, once the ad scripts are ready to go, will then talk to your ad editor for you and say, hey, here are the ads we need this week. Here are the angles. Here's the clips that we need to be showing at each stage of the scripts. For the hook, we need this type of clip. For the problem, we need this type of clip. And then, of course, you have your ad editor, and their job is to edit the ad together and gather footage. They should not be writing any script for you. An ad editor does not have any marketing skills. Your marketing skills are from your creative director and your copywriter. So how to hire a great video editor? Just take a screenshot, super simple. Here's the simple trial I do where I will give them a product, I say make 2 ads, and then I will give them, here's the script, and I'll see how good are they at gathering footage and actually editing an ad that has the right pacing, that has the right visuals. And of course, you'll give them examples of ads that you like and have an SOP training of you making an ad so they know exactly what to do. So that's what you're going to do, non-negotiable for every single role. I typically pay an ad editor between $15 to $25 per video, nothing too crazy. And then finally, last hire, you're going to need image ads at a steady supply as well, because again, formats are irrelevant. Video, image, it all works, but you need to have a team that is, again, more skilled than you, and you can find insane graphic design talent using 99 Designs. Just to show you, for instance, this was a pickleball shoe brand where I was looking and doing a job post for graphic designers, and just look, this was a shoe pick that was from AliExpress. It was a white background AliExpress pick, and these guys are able to do these 3D effects. I mean, you got the pickleball court in the background. I mean, just look how sick these are. So you can really see there are some high-end talent that have the right designs, that have the right benefits, that can do anything that you would want, and they can come up with their own ideas based on the research of what they think would convert the best. So when you have all these roles of a graphic designer that can make image ads and also design the emails with the copy from the copywriter, then you have a business that can grow and scale and has actual brand equity and can be sold for 6 or 7 figures. And just at the end of the day, have a business that's making you thousands of dollars every single day without you having to slave away. And now you're an actual CEO that runs a real business instead of an overworked employee that is trapped in a business that is losing you money and receding your hairline every single day. So if you learned anything, I would just say hire your first virtual assistant, start training them, start building them up, because you will thank yourself in the future when you're able to scale to thousands of dollars a day without having to overwork yourself and just burn out. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and check this video next, because this is what YouTube thinks will deliver the next best amount of value in your dropshipping journey.